try to find a product that's a little more complicated. Up here we have a quadratic trinomial. So we want to factor that first to keep things more simple. So this would factor to x plus 1, x plus 2. So we're going to place that with that. And then again, like normal, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So here we have 3x squared times x plus 1 times x plus 2. On the bottom, we have x plus 2 times x. You can write it as x times x plus 2 or x plus 2 times x. 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. It's commutative. I usually just put my monomials out front because we can see if those cancel. So over here they do. X squared over x becomes x on top, and x over 2 over x, or x plus 2 over x plus 2 cancels out as well. So on top we're left with 3x times x plus 1. On bottom we're left with just 1. And then we want our answer in standard form, so we'd go ahead and distribute this out, which would be 3x squared plus 3x. And then we also need excluded values. There is no excluded values in the final answer, but we need to go back to the beginning. This means x cannot be negative 2, and this means x cannot be 0. That would be your final answer. Go through one more that's a little bit more complicated. So here we have a rational expression times a normal polynomial. We can change that into a rational expression by just putting it over 1. So now we have numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And again, we're going to factor everything out to make it more simple before we put it all together. So over here we can factor out a GCF of 2. So that's going to be x minus 7. Over here we can also factor out a GCF of 2, which is going to be 2x minus 3. Here, this one's a pretty complicated one. We're going to use a times c to do factor by grouping, or you can do guess and check, but here's a little refresher on factor by grouping. A times c is 36. We list out all the factors of 36. The one that adds to negative 13 would be negative 4 and negative 9. So that's what we're going to use to split that 13x. So this would become 6x squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 6. So that's the same thing as here, but just with that negative 13 split. And over here you have a GCF of 2x, left with 3x minus 2. And here you have a GCF of negative 3, which would also give us 3x minus 2. Put these together, which would be 2x minus 3. Put these together, which would be 3x minus 2. And again, you can also do that using box method or guess and check. So that's our new factored expression here. 2x minus 3, 3x minus 2 over 1. And now we're going to multiply it all together. So this would be 2x minus 7, 2x minus 3, 3x minus 2 over 2, 2x minus 3. And here you can probably have seen above that some of this will cancel. You can also go ahead and just cancel it there, but especially once you write it all out, if you do that, you see it here, 2 over 2 cancels, 2x minus 3 over 2x minus 3 cancels. And we're left with x minus 7 times 3x minus 2. And again, we want our answer in standard form, so we're going to double distribute. 3x squared minus 2x minus 21x plus 14 would be 3x squared minus 23x plus 14. That's our final answer. And again, we need to go back to look at our excluded values from the beginning. This one will not have one, but this one will. We set this equal to 0 and add 6. You get 4x equals 6. Divide by 4, you get x equals 3 halves. So we need to state that as our excluded value. X cannot equal 3 halves.